Start prayer. Ask God to lead you to your financial decisions. When we face financial decisions, whether they are big or small, it can often feel like a confusing maze. Should I make this investment? Should I save for the future or spend on today? The questions may never seem to end, and we sometimes feel unsure about which path to take. That's where prayer comes in. It's not just about asking for help. It's about seeking guidance from the one who knows everything and holds the answers to all our concerns. When we invite God into our financial decisions, we are acknowledging that His wisdom far exceeds our own and trusting that He will lead us on the right path. By praying for wisdom and discernment, we open ourselves up to receiving the clarity we need. We also align our hearts with His will, recognizing that financial decisions are not just about numbers, but also about faith, trust, and obedience. The process of seeking God's direction in our finances can lead to a sense of calm, even when the road ahead feels uncertain. This is why starting your financial decisions with prayer is essential. It transforms a stressful experience into one that feels guided and purposeful. Trusting God in financial decisions. One of the core aspects of inviting God into your financial decisions is learning to trust Him with your resources. Trusting God in our finances can be challenging, especially in a world where the pressure to have everything under control is high. However, trust isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly what will happen next. It's about surrendering control and trusting that God's plan for us is better than anything we could envision on our own. When we trust God with our money, we acknowledge that He is the provider of everything we have and that He has a plan to use our resources for good. Trusting God also involves recognizing that not every financial decision will result in immediate success or reward. Sometimes, trusting God means walking in faith and patiently waiting for His timing. Whether it's a decision to save or to give, to invest or to spend, each choice is an opportunity to learn more about our relationship with Him. When we trust God, we are opening ourselves up to a journey of faith, where we might not always understand the why behind every decision, but we have confidence that God knows exactly what is best for us. This trust can transform how we approach finances, helping us make choices that align with our values and our faith, rather than simply seeking temporary gratification. Seeking wisdom and discernment. When it comes to making financial decisions, seeking wisdom and discernment is critical. While it may be easy to make impulsive choices based on what feels right in the moment, prayer can help bring clarity and perspective. Asking God for wisdom in our financial decisions allows us to step back and look at the bigger picture. It enables us to make choices that are not just beneficial in the short term, but are also aligned with God's long-term vision for our lives. Wisdom is more than just knowledge. It's the ability to apply that knowledge in practical and meaningful ways. When we ask for wisdom, we're asking for insight that goes beyond what we can understand on our own. It's about seeing things from God's perspective. This may mean that we have to resist the temptation to act hastily or make decisions based on fear or pressure. Instead, wisdom gives us the patience to wait for the right moment, the courage to make bold choices when necessary, and the humility to learn from our mistakes. Discernment, on the other hand, helps us separate what is good from what is God's best, guiding us toward decisions that will not only benefit us, but also honor Him in the process. Honoring God through giving. One of the most powerful ways to honor God in our financial decisions is through giving. When we give, we acknowledge that everything we have is a gift from God, and we are merely stewards of His resources. Giving is an act of faith, a declaration that we trust God to provide for our needs, even as we share what we have with others. It also aligns our hearts with God's heart, as He is generous and compassionate, desiring for us to reflect those same qualities in our lives. Giving doesn't just mean donating money to a cause. It can be giving our time, skills, or resources to help others. When we honor God through giving, we're living out His love and compassion in practical ways. It also brings a sense of joy and fulfillment, knowing that our financial resources are being used for a greater purpose. Additionally, giving helps break the hold that money can have on our hearts. It's a way to remind ourselves that our security doesn't lie in the accumulation of wealth, but in God's provision. By consistently honoring God through giving, we cultivate a generous spirit that keeps our hearts aligned with His will. Being content with what we have. Another important aspect of financial decision-making is cultivating contentment with what we have. In a society that constantly pushes the message that we need more things, more success, more recognition, it can be difficult to be satisfied with where we are financially. However, contentment is a key part of living a life of peace and trust in God's provision. When we are content, we recognize that God has already given us everything we need, and that His plans for us are good. Being content doesn't mean we should never strive for improvement or growth. Rather, it's about being at peace with where we are in the present moment, knowing that God is with us through every season. Contentment allows us to resist the pressure of comparison and to find joy in the blessings we already have. It also frees us from the anxiety and stress that often come with a constant pursuit of more. When we are content, we can make financial decisions from a place of gratitude and trust, rather than from a place of lack or fear. In this way, contentment becomes a foundation for making wise financial decisions that honor God and bring peace to our hearts. Praying for guidance in investments. Investments, whether in stocks, real estate, or other ventures, can be a significant part of our financial decision-making process. They require careful thought, research, and often a bit of risk. But as with all things, it's important to seek God's guidance before making any investments. By praying for His direction, we can gain insight into whether a particular investment is in alignment with His plan for our lives. This can help us avoid making impulsive or risky decisions that might end up causing harm to our finances or our peace of mind. God doesn't just care about the numbers in our bank accounts. He cares about our hearts. That means that our decisions regarding investments should not only focus on the potential financial gain, but also consider how those investments align with our values and the kingdom of God. Sometimes, God may direct us to invest in areas that serve a higher purpose, whether it's supporting ethical businesses or funding projects that align with His will. Other times, He may guide us away from certain investments, helping us avoid pitfalls or situations that could cause stress or harm down the road. By praying for guidance in our investments, we are trusting God to help us steward our resources wisely and in ways that honor Him. Having patience and faith in financial seasons. Finally, it's important to remember that financial decisions are often a journey, not a one-time event. There will be seasons of plenty and seasons of lack, and it's during those times that our faith and patience will be tested. In the times of plenty, we may be tempted to become complacent or to take things for granted. In the times of lack, we may feel anxious or worried about the future. However, when we ask God to lead us in these seasons, we learn to rely on Him in both the good times and the challenging times. Patience is a crucial element of making wise financial decisions. It requires us to trust in God's timing, even when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like. Faith is equally important. It helps us hold on to the belief that God is in control, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. By having patience and faith, we can navigate the highs and lows of financial life with a sense of peace, knowing that God is always with us, guiding us through every season. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. For more awesome content, have a nice day and I will see you in the next video.